So you're talking to a guy right now that is literally on 2 hours of sleep over a 48-hour period. I am so tired right now that I would tell you that Babe Ruth batted third last night in Pittsburgh.
You
I
could have
would sit
used
there.
Babe Ruth in your lineup last
You're
night in
not
Pittsburgh.
kidding. You're not kidding.
On this episode of Three Tool Players, Vladdy gets the bag, the Pirates plunder the legacy of Roberto Clemente, the Phillies stare down the Dodgers in a weekend series, and Brian really needs to get to bed. All this and more on this episode of Three Tool Players. Welcome to Three Tool Players. I'm Chris Spear, and alongside me, as always, are my co-hosts Brian and Dan Hammer. Say hello to the internets, fellas.
Hello to the internets, fellas.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Before we get going, a couple of housekeeping things. First of all, I've been remiss in that I have not mentioned our composer, our artiste, the musician who put together our intro and outro music. His name is Habanero Silver, and you can find him on Spotify. He's got 2 albums to integrate your ear holes with: Stunt Double and Playing the Accordion According to Birds. Stunt Double is home to the hit song Mauled by a Bear. So make sure you integrate your ear holes with Habanero Silver on Spotify. That's habanero like the pepper.
Sounds
What a
delicious.
good boy. That guy's amazing. Go check him out.
And here's another thing that we're gonna start up. We're gonna have a new segment here called Three Tool Players Builds an Audience. TTP builds an audience. See what I did there? I put an acronym around it. We're going to have a recurring segment at the beginning of every show where we will call out any new followers we have on either TikTok or X. And we have a few. We have a few people who've started to follow us. It's getting very exciting. I want to call out Andrew Clark, Kate May 30, and Gabe on TikTok. Gabe was our first. You never forget your first.
Attaboy, Gabe.
Oh, Gabe, you've left such a beautiful place in my heart right now. I'm so glad that you accepted our invitation to prom.
And on X, we have Flowers, Ellen Rodman, and at Briz WWW, who is, I guess those are all Japanese kanji characters. We're huge in Japan, boys.
Oh,
Are
they
we
love
now?
us. Yeah.
They love us in Japan.
We're second to Otani.
Wow, that's a big leap. I mean, maybe
I
top.
forgot about Yamamoto, too.
Listen,
Maybe fourth.
listen, I'm sorry, Mr. Matsui. He knows of not what he speaks. We deplore your forgiveness. We'll simply say we're in the top 20, Japan. How's that sound?
Okay, okay.
There you go. So we're going to do this. So for anybody who's out there on TikTok, if you're hearing or reading this on TikTok or on X, we will call out any new followers we get right here on the Three Tool Players podcast. So if you'd like to hear yourself, if you'd like to hear your name called out right here on a podcast, please go ahead, like, subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Okay, it's been another really fun week of baseball. In the National League West, the Giants are in first place, which I didn't think we expected at the beginning of the season. But how about this? All three teams, the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Giants, going into Monday were a combined 25-5. That's ridiculous. On the other side of that, the Braves are 1-8, and Jerkson Profar is out for 80 games for PED usage. The wheels have fallen off the cart in Atlanta. The Mets are showing signs of life. The Yankees had a bit of an uneven week, and the Phils stared down the Dodgers over the weekend in a battle for early National League supremacy. But we begin with the news that broke very early on Monday morning. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a 14-year, $500 million contract extension, fully guaranteed, no deferrals, full no trade clause. And I'll tell you this, it wasn't the length of the contract or the size of it. It's the third largest contract of all time. But it was that the Blue Jays actually opened up the checkbook.
Can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
Because I'm told that this money is paid in Canadian dollars, not American.
Yeah, that's $351 million, Spear.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
take a lap there. Vladdy Jr., you're not getting American money.
500 million US dollars, boys and girls, okay?
Oh, you imagine the fast one that Toronto tried to pull on him. Here you are. We love you.
Yeah, let's not
What
try
is
to
this all
mess with
about?
exchange rates, okay?
Wait, what is this CAN at the end of 500
What is
mil?
this? What is this all about? I'm sorry. 250 million of that is in maple syrup. contracts and futures. So there's a real growth scenario there, eh?
It's a
That's
nice
what I say.
contract, eh?
I say figured out.
Figured it.
You know, it's a long time coming. I mean, obviously, Vladdy Jr., he's a generational talent. He's young. He's in his mid 20s. He's averages a little over 30 home runs a year. He's got star power. You can market around him. It makes sense that they're doing this now. They're also seeing what the Juan Soto sweepstakes look like in the past year. But for the Toronto Blue Jays, for opening up their wallets, as you say, Spear, for the first time, it's a big, big gamble. I hope it pays off. No, I don't actually. That's a false word because you're in my division.
That's right.
So I'll simply say I really, really hope you get to the wild card every year and lose every time with us because I got no problem with your stadium. I think it's fun, but I'd like to hear what Little Hammer has to say about the issue.
What I'm concerned about is, I mean, like, yeah, they signed star power in Vlad Guerrero Jr., but then I think to myself, what about Bo Bichette?
Yep.
I mean, taking a look at him, I mean, he is on a contract year too. He is going to
Yep.
free agency
Yep.
next year. So are the Blue Jays going to open up their purse to sign Bo Bichette, or are they going to say toodaloo?
So I'll reframe that for you. The Blue Jays have been in pursuit of the big free agents. They were in on the Otani sweepstakes. They were in on the Soto sweepstakes. They fell short twice. And that may be in part due to the fact that the Blue Jays haven't really shown that they're a player, that they're part of the trust fund club. The Yankees, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, now the Mets. They haven't been part of that group of franchises that will pay for players and build a team around you. Do you think this is now the Blue Jays coming out and saying, hey, we want to be a free agent destination too?
You know what? I feel like it's a true statement because taking a look at the team payrolls, believe it or not, the Blue Jays are in the top five. They are
I
right
don't
behind the
believe it.
Phillies. It's insane just to think about it. They are just behind the Phillies. So I believe they do want to win. I mean, like you think about it, they are competing against the Imperial team in the New York Yankees. They're the Darth Vader of MLB. We all know this. So how do you combat that? Well, you got to give them a little bit of Kylo Ren money, you know?
I think you have to. If you're the Blue Jays, you have to look at the rest of your division and say, I need to get out from under the evil empire and the Red Sox, and I need to start showing that we are a team that can be a free agent destination, that is going to build a team to win, and is going to be there in the conversation for the next 5 to 10 years. And when you look at this, the Blue Jays are in the same spot the Mets are in now, where you have to take advantage of Guerrero's prime. He's in his age 26 year. So you have a good 5 years or so while he's still in his prime to start putting the pieces around him that are going to get you to a World Series. And not just get you there, but also win one. And they haven't won a World Series since the Joe Carter years in the early 90s. The question is, true or false, Bo Bichette will get the bag from the Jays and will end up with Guerrero for the next 5 to 10.
I think it's true because you got to look at just the ownership here. You got Rogers Communication, right? You heard of the Rogers Center, of course, right? I mean, this is as big as they come. You heard the word Verizon, AT&T. This is the Canadian Verizon. So there's so much to be said about, hey, look, this is the economics of baseball. This is where it's headed. And we're putting together a good core nucleus, a young nucleus at that, so that we can stay competitive. So we do want to lock in at these, kind of future value rates. And people like this and organizations, I should say, like this, see the writing on the wall. And they say, well, things are going to get a lot more expensive in the future. So we better lock in right now for this future value of young talent.
So one more true or false. True or false, the Blue Jays will look at this contract in a few years the same way the Angels are looking at the Mike Trout contract now. Mike Trout was 26 when he signed the contract.
Mm-hmm.
His career WAR when he signed his big deal in 2019 after his year 26 season. His career WAR was 63.8. In the 5 years since, he's had a 21.7 WAR.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question now. I'm going to answer your question with a question. Would you give Ken Griffey Jr. the money as well? Not knowing that he was going to be injured, but one of the greatest players in the 90s, if he was up for contract, would you pay him?
Don't
I
you love
would
getting a question with a question, by the
I
way?
would
Damn right.
pay I would pay any of these guys what they deserve to be paid. My concern with any of these contracts is the same one I have with the Soto contract. My concern with any of these contracts that go 12, 14, 15 years is that you're paying for their prime. You're basically saying, I'm going to pay, let's call it 350 to 400 million dollars of Vlad Guerrero's prime for those 5 years or so.
Hmm.
And then you're basically just going to amortize that over the rest of the contract towards the back half of it when he's not the same player that you paid him to be.
Well, what you're doing is you're paying for goodwill up front. You are rewarding for past performance, hoping that it's indicative for future outcomes. And we all know that people do drop off. We see it happening. I mean, look at what happened when Miggy Cabrera
Yep,
signed his
absolutely.
major deal in Detroit, like a stone. But I really think you should get to the heart of this question, Spear, of why our good Danny Hammer is being so defensive about the Mike Trout question is because secretly he wants Mike Trout to come back to Philadelphia.
Oh God,
You know,
hell
he's
no.
a South Jersey guy.
Absolutely.
We love
I
him here.
I love Mike Trout,
We,
believe you me,
of course
but
you do. You see him at the Eagles games.
I do not want a Giancarlo Stanton on my team. I absolutely love Mike Trout, don't get me wrong, but the thing is, when it comes to like injury prone, it's tough. It's a slippery slope, and I do not want to go down that.
Yeah, and if you're the Angels with Mike Trout in 2019, yeah, you give him all that money. I mean, he was the best player in baseball. He was one of the best
Absolutely.
players ever to lace them up. The risk with any of these contracts is exactly what happened to Mike Trout. Is you didn't even get Mike Trout in his prime. You got
Pujols.
Pujols, same thing. Miggy. This is the problem when you sign these long-term contracts for a lot of money. And like I said, Juan Soto, he's going to do Juan Soto things until he pulls both of his hamstrings somewhere early on in this season. I'm waiting for it. You know, Stanton is another example. Big contract, can't stay on the field. You're hoping that these guys who are super talented and who the Blue Jays absolutely need now, because the biggest part of this contract for the Toronto Blue Jays is going to be branding. They need that guy that they're going to say he's our guy. He's the Toronto Blue Jay. Mike Trout was that guy that they were going to build the Angels brand around. They added Ohtani. And there was going to be a lot of things to love about the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim
Hmm.
until Mike Trout wasn't able to stay on the field and Ohtani wanted to run cross town to go win World Series.
Taking a look at, their money line right now, Blue Jays are fifth in salary for all of baseball. 2026, $100 million come off the books. So they do have the available resources to sign a couple players, to sign Bo Bichette. So right now they're at around 240 million for 2025. They are at 143 million for 2026. That's not counting the 30 million. So add on that 30 million, you still have a lot of room to sign Bo Bichette.
35 million, I thought. No?
Was it 35?
At
Yep,
that
you
point, who
are right.
cares?
Who cares?
Am I?
30,
Yeah,
35 million.
that's right. Hey, Dan, what's 5 million between brothers, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Invest it. But
What do you mean
anyway,
invest it? What do you mean
yeah.
invest it? I'll go right
I,
to the
I don't want to
casino.
do anything
I'll
fun
go
with
right
it.
to the casino.
No,
I got a
yeah.
system. I know how to triple
Put
that
it
money
all on
overnight.
black.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Let's get moving here.
Why do you put it on black? Because Wesley Snipes said so in Passenger
Yeah.
57. Always
Always
bet on
bet on
black.
black.
Damn right.
But
Hashtag
anyway,
love.
Blue Jays have the money. They can spend it. Go get Bo Bichette. Go get that 1-2 punch in Vlad Jr. and Bo Bichette. And then George Springer, say goodbye to him after 2026.
In other news, the Pirates messed up very badly. If there's a hero in the city of Pittsburgh associated with the Pirates, it's Roberto Clemente. The Pirates marketing team really, really borked it when they replaced the Memorial 21 logo, which was right there on the wall in right field. They replaced it with an ad for Surfside. What is it? It's an iced tea? What is
Iced
it?
tea, it's a vodka, lemonade. They make all these different types of flavors. But let me tell you this, Spear. Isn't that the pirate way?
To bork it so terribly?
No,
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 because
it's
yo
the
ho
alcohol.
ho.
It's the liquor. Yo ho.
Yes.
Oh my
Yo ho
God.
ho and a bottle of rum. We all know this.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
listen,
Why is
let
the
me tell
rum
you.
gone?
let me tell you something there, Captain Jack. Let me tell you something right now. And that is 21 also is the drinking age in this country. So go screw. I'm happy. I'm absolutely happy that they went ahead and put up this. No, I'm absolutely kidding.
Yeah,
Please. One of the greatest humanitarians of all time and being like besmirched by some nasty marketing. Listen, my background's in marketing, and even I know when to, draw the line and say, listen, we're going to have much more backlash from a political and public relations nightmare scenario than we are in getting some sort of advertising revenue. Knock it off. Do what's right. Roberto Clemente is forever a fixture. He is a part of the Pirates brand. And you don't piss on that with some 21-foot wall advertisement to tell people to go buy booze.
You know what? You know what's funny? I absolutely love the Pirates' response, like their deflective response at first. They basically said, "Hey, you know what? During COVID, no sponsors were coming out to sign on to put up advertisements on our walls. So heck, we're going to put up this Roberto Clemente plaque. But now we're getting sponsors, and yeah, we're getting money. Money is rolling in. We're going to take that down, but not
Yeah.
letting anyone know about it and just doing it behind their backs. Even the manager of the Pirates basically was saying, "What the heck are you guys doing?" I
Yep.
mean, this is Roberto Clemente we're talking about.
Yep. And Pirates president Travis Williams had to do some serious backpedaling in a statement. Quote, "We did not intend to disrespect the legacy of Roberto Clemente by adding the advertisement to the pad in right field. When we added the advertisement to the pad, it was an oversight not to keep the number 21 logo. This is ultimately on me, not anyone else in the organization. It was an honest mistake. We will be adding the 21 logo back to the pad." So Travis Williams fell on the sword for his marketing department, but
Attaboy, Travis.
I gotta
Attaboy.
think heads rolled. There is no way that some marketing coordinator somewhere did not lose their job over this.
I don't
Well,
think it's a
I
marketing
wouldn't want I
coordinator.
wouldn't want to be in that boardroom.
I went to the Pirates website here and I'm looking at their marketing and fan engagements and your marketing teams here. I don't think this goes to a marketing coordinator, but it ends up somewhere in middle management because somebody should have caught this.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So looking at that middle management, Brian, are there any names from like Sparrow in there? Just wondering.
So I don't want to call anybody out by name,
No, he's
but I
milking.
want to
He's
say this. They might be long lines of descendants, Daniel. You don't know how many of women folk and ladies of the evening drinking booze and mingling with one Captain Jack Sparrow got through the times. So there
right.
may be
No,
direct descendants of that, Dan. I think it's worth a couple of things. Maybe that's something this podcast should do, is deep research into
Family
DNA
trees? Family trees?
familytree.com, ancestry.com, and see if there's any real connections to certain important pirates. Who are the most important pirates we can think of? Blackbeard, Redbeard, One-Eyed Willie. Let's find out who all these folks are, and let's find out who is a direct descendant working for the Pittsburgh Pirate Brass.
really milking the pirate thing there, guys. Good job. It's
I
a
told
good
you I was
job by
tired.
good
I
job by
told
both
you
of
I'm
you.
on. I told you I'm on
Oh,
fumes.
it's not just you; it's him, and he looks like he's awake. So I'm not hearing it.
Speaking of that spirit, you know what? I'm just wired. Let's go to AC right now. You and me.
Yeah.
Come on. I feel a heater coming on.
You hear this? Brian is waking up. He's
It
enjoying
is.
this.
So by way of weekend roundup, Brian, I'm going to start this by trying to be nice to you. Okay. The Yankees are scoring runs in bunches. As they went into Monday, they were leading the league in runs scored at 8.44 runs per game. The closest team to them was the Cards at 6.89. It's like a run and a half less. But they lost the series to the Diamondbacks, and they couldn't close out the Pirates. They were getting dominated by Andrew Heaney through 7, and they lost in extras in the final game of the weekend. That said, they scored 9 and 10 runs in the first 2 games of the series against the Buccos. The bats are there. The Yankees went into Monday second in the league in batting average and OBP, and were leading the league in slugging and home runs, with Aaron Judge leading the majors in home runs with 6 and RBIs with 17, and he had a 345 batting average. This just in, Aaron Judge is very good at baseball. Also good, Trent Grisham, who had tied up the game Sunday with a clutch hit, was batting 450 something with 3 home runs, and he's making a play to get himself into the everyday lineup. They blew a game against the Tigers earlier today. They look bad. Where do you think the Bombers are now, a week into the season, after the early barrage of home runs against the Brewers? Where do you think they are now? They've played some uneven baseball, but they're still in first place. They're 6-4. They're tied with the Red Sox. Where do you think they are?
Here's what I'll say to you, Mr. Spear. Everything you just mentioned about where we rank in terms of our offensive prowess, you're absolutely right. In terms of our slugging, our hitting, our average, we all rank, near the top in those respective categories. But it's still always going to come down to pitching. And if your pitching can't hold the fort, you're going to lose a lot of games. Pitching wins championships. Good pitching will always defeat good hitting. Right now, we're not seeing it. Rodon today, not very sharp. In fact, his last couple of starts have not been sharp at all. We ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw today against
Casey Mize.
Casey Mize. I mean, what can you say? I mean, the kid goes out there, he throws a four-hit gem, holds the Yanks to just a run, 6 Ks spread out over 88 pitches. I mean, you throw 6 innings of work, 88 pitches, you're actually doing something right. Now, my thought is we do get some pitching back mid-season with some of our injuries. And if we're able to make some moves, some good pickups around the trade deadline, Yankees are going to be fine. We've got enough firepower. We could see that from the offensive juggernaut that we are. But we're going to have to make some smart moves as well on the pitching side.
So I hear a lot of worry in that voice because you're talking about pitching that wins games. It must hurt losing your top pitcher and then your rookie of the year. Like we were talking about before in previous segments, where do we see the Yankees? I see them fourth in this division.
You are so high. I mean,
Uh,
seriously. I'm eating a meatball sandwich right now, and I
you're damn
can't
right.
even choke it down because of the absolute lunacy that's coming from your lips.
It's real
All right.
professional of you, by the way. Real professional.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a hungry guy. I only got 2 hours of sleep last night. And you're lucky I even started this podcast on tonight because I'm 100% exhausted. So I love you. You're a lovable idiot. There's no way we're going to be in fourth place.
What I want to say is, I mean, like, if the Yankees started focusing on, like, hitting and stuff like, I mean, like, I get it. They have a run differential of 27, but you know what? I feel like if their catcher started like focusing more on his like batting average rather than being a food enthusiast, I think the Yankees could go somewhere.
How dare
Me?
you?
How dare
People
you?
everywhere need to know what a good breakfast burrito is,
Oh, do
Dan.
we need to know in every freaking stadium? I
How
don't think
dare
so.
you?
Hey,
How dare
Wells,
you?
how about your 228 batting average for your career? How about we boost that up like another like 25 points? How about let's focus on your at bats and let's get into the cage instead of like focusing on what you should put down as a food enthusiast. That's what I'm saying.
You know what, Dan? You're going about this all wrong because the Yankees already have their answer, and it's all about reward. Because Wells hit his leadoff home run to start the season, the Yankees brass came back to him and said, "Hey, since you did that, now you can go eat these burritos when we tell you to." So now that he's not doing very well, he knows he's got to get back into the gym. He's got to get back in the cage. And you want to know something? That man's going to bat over 300 because he's very enthusiastic about food. And you're going to see him on more and more of these sorts of TikToks and Snapchats about how great the next burrito is going to be in freaking LA.
You sounded really old there with the Instagrams and the Snapchats. Do you even know what you're talking about?
I do know what I'm talking about because my knee is very sore and I know it's going to rain tomorrow.
There you go. You mentioned one thing, and it's worth calling that out. You say pitching wins championships, and the Texas Rangers right now are 8-2 with the bats asleep. They are dead last in batting average. Coming into Monday, they were dead last in batting average and OBP, and they're 8-2. The reason being, Jack Leiter and Nathan Eovaldi are carrying the team. Jack Leiter has a .9 ERA. Nathan Eovaldi a 1.2 ERA. And if DeGrom wakes up and starts DeGrominating, watch out.
And it's not like they don't have the bats either. I mean, they have Wyatt Langford. They have
Marcus
Corey,
Simeon.
yeah, Marcus Simeon.
Corey
They have Corey
Seager.
Seager. You take a look at their lineup. I mean, like they have mashers on their team.
That's what I'm
But
saying, Dan. I mean,
yeah,
if those bats wake up, look out. The Rangers, like we said, the Rangers are going to win the AL West. They are going to be the class of the American League. And if they're 8-2 right now and nobody's hitting the ball, look out. You want to talk about good pitching while we're at it? The big surprise for me is at the beginning of the season, the New York Mets have the best collective ERA going into Monday. They had the best collective ERA at 1.91. The Mets have the best bullpen in baseball right now with a 1.29 ERA. No one has scored yet on Ryan Stanek, Reed Garrett, Wesker Brazoban, Max Kranick, or Edwin Diaz. If I have one concern about the Mets pitching, it's that the starters have not gone late into games. They've been averaging fewer than 5 innings per game. And the Mets have been in games because their bullpen has competed at an elite level. That's not sustainable. But the bats are starting to show signs of life. Pete Alonso is locked in. Going into Monday, he was batting .290 with 3 home runs and 11 RBI. Juan Soto doesn't look locked in yet, but he's reached safely in every game he's played. Vientos has shown signs of life. Lindor is showing signs of life. Those are guys that really need to get going. The back half of the lineup has been horrible. And I got to say this, Brett Beatty needs to go back down to the minors. I never thought I'd say this, but I can't wait for Jeff McNeil to come back from injury. Brett Beatty needs to go back down to the minors. He has shown time and again that he cannot hit big league pitching. He tears it up in spring against lesser arms, and he falls apart when he gets to the show. Have Acuna play more and wait for Jeff McNeil to come back because Beatty has been god-awful. If the Mets can keep pitching the way they've been pitching and the bats eventually wake up, look out. This is going to be a tough team to play in the National League. And they're going to have to because 2 heavyweights in the National League faced off over the weekend. The Phils took 2 from the Dodgers, winning that last game in comeback fashion twice. Twice they needed to come back to win that game, and that was a statement series win. For me, Dan, the Phils announced early that they have the pitching and the bats to compete with the Dodgers in a very good National League.
You know, Spear, I just want to say I love that you saved me for last because you're saving the best for last. And I don't know if you guys have taken a look at the power rankings that came out this morning. Did you guys take a gander at that?
Haven't yet, Dan. Haven't yet.
Take a gander. The Phillies are number 1 in power rankings, dethroning the Dodgers. The Dodgers have fallen to number 2, and the Phillies have jumped up to number 1 in power rankings.
Where are you getting where are you getting power rankings, by the way? On what website?
Yeah, what are we looking at there? What is this like?
Which one, Dan?
Philly.com?
Is it Philly.com?
No, you got to look at CBS Sports.
CBS Sports.
Yeah, the Philly affiliation there, Spear.
MLB Power Rankings, CBS Sports.
/Philadelphia.com, .org, .edu.
But getting into this weekend's series, I don't know if you guys were able to watch Friday's game. Watching Jesus Luzardo just motor through the Dodgers lineup, it was just sheer brilliance. His fastball had movement on it, like he was hitting his spots. It's just he left that whole team uncomfortable at all their at-bats. It was a little bit scary going into the ninth inning, seeing the Jordan Romero give up some of those runs. I mean,
yeah, every Phillies fan has had that reaction to Jordan Romero.
Jordan Romero right now, I know he is struggling. I mean, he's a good pitcher. He has been a good pitcher for a long time, but right now, taking a look at him during this series, he's leaving a lot of balls up. A lot of his pitches are not hitting. He's walking a lot. And the one pitch that he left up, it left the yard. And it was a scary game on Friday, but the Phillies were able to pull it off.
Here's what I think I liked about the Phils over the weekend is they stared down the Dodgers. In that third game, they stared them down and they said, we're going to beat you. We're going to beat you. We have everything you have. We have a killer lineup. We have the pitching. We have the bullpen. We're going to get you. I think JT Realmuto, he took it personal. He's like, you're going to keep running? I already threw you guys out once. Ohtani's going to run? I'm going to throw him out too. Wait, you didn't get the lesson the first 2 times? Let me throw out the last guy and strike him out, throw him out.
Throw him out. Absolutely.
To end the game. Like, I think JT took it personal. Like, what are you doing? Did I not teach you? This is how it works. I'm the best catcher in baseball, damn it.
You know what's funny too? The Dodgers smelled blood too. They were looking like at JT Realmuto. Maybe that was like a ploy right there. I don't know if you guys saw this, but JT Realmuto had some troubles with his fingers in the ninth inning, went off to the medical staff and had some, just some
Some glue or
saline
something.
solution
No, he had
put
some
onto
glue
his
put
finger.
on.
Yeah,
You know, it was
but
glue.
some,
He had to
yeah,
like glue up a blister or something.
yeah. So the Dodgers smelled blood and they're like, you know what? We're going to run on this guy because, we need to get a runner into scoring position. We are only down by 1 run. We're going to do it right now. We have a quick guy on first base. Let's do it. And JT Realmuto was like, nope, no, we're going to strike him out, throw him out.
Yeah, strike him out, throw him out. And the Dodgers are going to be there, but the Phils have the look early of a team that wants to win. They probably know that the window's starting to close. They have some aging players. Harper's getting up there. Schwarber's getting up there. Remuto's getting up there. This is a team that has a window right now. They are a very good team. And they looked right across at the Dodgers and said, we're going to beat you. And you had to love that from the fighting Phils.
You take a look at their pitching staff. You take a look at their starting pitching. They hit the lottery with Jesus Luzardo this year. He is looking great to start off the year. Ranger Suarez is coming back from injury. Andrew Painter should be coming back in either June or July. So they have a lot of stuff going for him. I believe Painter just started pitching off the mound this past weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have a lot of stuff going for us. The only thing that I do worry about, we may
Eh,
need an extra arm in the bullpen.
Well, what do you say about Aaron Nola right now?
You mean Mr. Hyde?
Yeah, Mr. Hyde. You haven't
Mr.
seen
Hyde,
Dr.
man.
Jekyll yet. I mean,
We have not seen Dr. Jekyll. It's just it's which Nola is coming to the ballpark, and we're not seeing the pitcher that we know what he can do. He needs to step up. He needs to step up. He needs to bring it. I feel that the weather does play a factor with Aaron Nola. In the hotter months, he does pitch a lot better. In the cooler months, not so much.
I mean, the Phillies have lost twice this season, both times when Nola has started the game. Not a good sign early for Aaron Nola. Again, it's early,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you don't hit the panic button, but not a good sign.
There's one person in this lineup that I want to see a little bit more of. He's our utility player. He's batting over 500 right now. It is Imundo Sosa. This guy needs to be in the lineup. They need to find more spots to get him at bats. He is a phenomenal fielder, and this is the reason why they have him. They have him as a fielder, but right now, his bat is hot.
Yeah, and people have been asking Rob Thompson, like, how do you get him in the game more? And he's like, we're working on it. We're working on it.
Do better. Get him in more.
Well, like I said, the Phils look like they got that eye of the tiger thing going around because Philly loves Rocky. So they got the eye of the tiger. And with the Braves seemingly out of it, no team has come back from an 0-7 start to make the playoffs. And that's the Braves right now.
Who saw that coming?
Not this
Nobody.
kid.
No.
Nobody. Yeah, the wheels have completely fallen off the cart for Atlanta. The Jerks and Profar thing was another gut punch.
Yep.
So things do not look good in Atlanta, and the Mets are looking all right. The Phils look dangerous. It's going to be, to me, it's the Phillies division to lose now with the Braves seemingly out of it. Seemingly out of it. Could you ever really count the Braves out of anything? No, but no team has ever come back from an 0-7 start, and those are your Atlanta Braves right now. All right, so there you go. Another week of baseball in the books. The Mets are looking improved. The Phillies are looking dangerous. The Yankees look like hot garbage, and all is right in the world.
Amen.
Really? It is not hot basura.
It is.
All right?
Hot garbage.
If anything, we replaced the stupid little liner in the stupid little plastic garbage can that's in the kitchen. All right? Yeah, there's a little bit of a funk from the seafood shellfish dinner we had the night before, but we got enough spray to make that vanilla sweet.
Do you
Understand?
even know what you're talking about right now?
No, because
you
I've
need to
got.
go to bed.
I absolutely need to go to bed, but I'm trying to tell you this, and for all of our bilingual fans that are out there, the Yankees are not basura caliente. They are muy bueno. Just give them a little more time.
Look at you.
All right?
Look at you.
And with that, as our friends in Toronto would say, I'm huge.
Oh my God. You can find the Three Tool Players podcast on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts or wherever fine podcasts are sold. And if you're watching and listening to us on YouTube, make sure you mash those like and subscribe buttons. And if you want to be a part of TTP Builds an Audience, Follow us on TikTok or on X.com. I guess it's 3Tool Players on TikTok, at 3ToolPod on X. For Brian and Dan Hammer, I am Chris Spear, and we thank you for listening to this episode of 3Tool Players.